is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Welcome to the MorganMan's Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Stacy Morgan. Here on the MorganMan's Sports Podcast, we talk Atlanta Falcons news, pre-game predictions, and all other news surrounding the Atlanta Falcons.
Touchdown, Atlanta!
Also on the podcast, we talk Call of Duty League, esports, covering Roster Mania, major predictions, COD champs, player trades, and much more to get you ready for every single CDL weekend.
Scuff goes through, and Scuff snaps, wins the one-on-one in optic with the reverse sweep.
If that sounds good with you, put on your Falcons jersey, grab your gaming headset, and let's get this show started. What is going on, you guys? I'm your host, Stacy Morgan, and you are listening to the MorganMan's Sports Podcast here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on the Belly Up Sports YouTube page. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about Falcon football that is being played tonight, the time you are listening to this podcast, here Friday, August 8th. And guys, let me tell you, the excitement is in the air. Yes, I know it's just preseason, but still, we have some football on our television for the whole month of August, pretty much. Skip a week, and then boom, we are in the NFL regular season. So it is a great time to be alive right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you are an NFL fan, regardless of your team, Browns for Shedeur Sanders, Jacksonville Jaguars for Travis Hunter, you name it. I mean, it's there. So we're going to talk about the Lions taking on the Atlanta Falcons at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this Friday, August 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So for the game odds, ladies and gentlemen, Atlanta is not favored at home. It is the Detroit Lions favored on the road at a -3.5. Did open up as a -1.5 point favorite, but the current now stands as of August 5th at 6:19 p.m. Eastern, a 3.5 point favorite for the Detroit Lions. The money line is in favor of the Atlanta Falcons at a +165. Did open up as a 105. Current for the Lions is -199, and open as a -115. The total over and under is a current 32.5. Did open a 34.5, but it's dropped now to 32.5. So I'm not really particular in favor of the Detroit Lions winning at home, knowing our talent that we have. Yes, it's preseason. I understand that. But these players, just like the Lions are fighting for a spot on that 52-man roster. And it all starts today. What I'm expecting of the Atlanta Falcons is to come out very hot and heavy and have a little bit of like attitude and aggression, I would say. Say, all right, look, we know you guys made it to the NFC Championship. Or no, not even to the NFC Championship. I think just to the divisional round, if I'm not mistaken. Someone had to fact check me on that. But still, regardless, come out with an aggressive attitude. Come to play some ball like you would know it. So I'm hoping to see like James Pierce Jr., all our first round picks come out and play. And I think the Falcons have a lot more at stake than the Detroit Lions. Because the Falcons have got now expectations to live by. Everybody's wanting a Super Bowl. The very first Super Bowl at that. I understand it. That's been this thing for many years. But I think right now a playoff push is definitely in that realm of possibility. And the Falcons need to showcase that, hey, even though this is the preseason, we're here to compete this year. So watch out. The Lions, I feel like they're fine. They might have a few hiccups changing, offensive coordinators. But still, I think they're going to be fine. I think they'll be kind of like a 4th, 5th seed. in the NFC conference for the playoffs. But at the end of the day, I feel like the Falcons have got to win this game. And I know I'm just repeating myself, beating a dead horse with a stick, but the Falcons has got to win it. I'm sorry, but the Falcons has got to win this to show, all right, we've made our adjustments. You see it live on display right here, and this is what the regular season is going to hold. These players might not be here, but this is what the 52-man roster is going to hold. So I'm looking at it as the Falcons win this one at least 21-14. 21-14. It's a very close game. Regardless, Falcons do have the majority of the edge throughout the entire game, pretty much. And what I'm looking for in this particular game is you need to close out this game. You need to close out this game with a lead. And what I mean by that is don't give us Falcons fans a heart attack and let the opponent, aka the Lions, try to come back and score on us. Like, be aggressive on defense and stop their attack on offense and hold that 7-point lead and hold it for the entire fourth quarter. Don't let them score, then we rebound. No, nothing like that. Hold them off the entire fourth quarter, late second half of the fourth quarter, whatever it is. But maintaining that lead and holding it until that clock hits 0 in the fourth quarter, that's what I'm looking for in this preseason game. So that way we could really captivate our winning momentum. Keep it high and just let everything flow together. Don't let your foot off the gas. That is what this preseason needs to be preached upon. Is we need to close out games and win it by at least a good margin and hold it. Again, don't give us Falcons fans a heart attack and the opponent score and then we have to bounce back with a field goal from Younghoe Koo, who is now unreliable. So I'm just looking at that standpoint, but I say Falcons win 21-14, holds a lead from 21 points. Lions do at least score in the third quarter, make it 14. But then after that, it's just kind of just rotational skill set and seeing who fits in what scheme for the fourth quarter. Going into, of course, preseason week 2 for both the Lions and the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I am not a fan of what Raheem Morris is doing with Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix Jr. He is not letting them play. None, at least in this week 1 of the preseason. I just don't like the idea. Now, Dan Quinn, when he had Matt Ryan played a lot in the preseason. But whenever it came to Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, Taylor Heineke, starting quarterbacks, we didn't get to see them. None in the preseason. And if we did, it was just for one series, and that was it. There was no other competition for quarterback. I mean, of course, we know Michael Penix Jr. is the starting quarterback and Kirk Cousins is QB2, but I would like to see them play at least 2 to 3 series apiece, because that's how the Kansas City Chiefs keeps winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl. That's how the Eagles, they're winning Super Bowls now. That's how, the Denver Broncos, they're making the playoffs now. The Los Angeles Chargers, they're making the playoffs by starting their starting quarterbacks in the preseason. Again, yes, it's only for a series or 2, maybe for the entire first quarter, but you're starting your starters. That's what needs to happen for the Falcons. That's how you build a championship roster, is get your starters out there. Let them get in rhythm, in real game action. Get them in real game action while it doesn't count. So whoever your QB1, your wide receiver 1 and 2, your RB1, all of them, tell the opposing team, hey, we're starting our starters. And y'all should too. So that way we can get the real life action of what's going to happen during the regular season. So that way we know what to tweak. So that is my argument right there for Raheem Morris to challenge Michael Penix Jr. and Kirk Cousins to be played in at least the preseason week 2 and 3. I say start Michael Penix Jr. off in the first 2 series in the preseason week 2, and then maybe go the entire first quarter in week 3 against the Dallas Cowboys. And then after that, let Kirk Cousins have a series or 2 in week 2, and then start him in the second quarter in the last preseason game against the Cowboys. That's what I would argue for Raheem Morris, is to have your starters play. Because that's how you're going to build a championship roster, is in the preseason. And knowing their strengths and weaknesses, what needs to be tweaked with the starting offense and defense. Not the rookies or the undrafted college free agents. No. You need to have your starters out there and let them play. Plain and simple, because, again, at the end of the day, look at it. Kansas City, Philadelphia, main 2 contenders for a Super Bowl now every single year. And why? Because they're starting Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts in the preseason. Getting that chemistry, that rhythm, that momentum built up for the regular season. But yet we have Michael Penix Jr. and Kirk Cousins sitting on the bench. I don't like the idea, but hey, I'm not the one making millions of dollars and making these decisions as the Atlanta Falcons head coach. Raheem Morris is, so I hope and trust that he knows what he's doing along with that situation. But guys, I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like button wherever you are listening from. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on the Belly Up Sports YouTube page. Guys, comment what was your favorite part of this podcast right here. I want to know down below. Make sure you are following me on Twitter. Just type in MorganMan's Sports, and I will appear on your search page. But until then, I, Stacy Morgan, will catch you all later. Peace.
Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.